What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and what do all three of these handguns on the table have in common? A lot of you guys would say outdated, right? But that is not the answer. The answer is they were all $275 and below. This originally, before the slide and updated everything, was a Glock 26 Gen 3 used for $275. And I'll explain where all this came about, and we'll talk about it. Right here is a Glock 36 I picked up about a week ago for $225 used, but it didn't look used. All the scratches on it are from me. Look at how nice the frame looks. Everything still had the copper paste or the copper Loctite on the inside. Absolutely awesome. Since then, though, we have shot it a lot. Last but not least, the Beretta APX Carry A1. I got this for $219 with a $50 rebate, making this thing right here $169 or $170. Just a ridiculous price, let alone for a Beretta. Now, obviously, the best on the table is hands down the Glock 26, and it's not even close. But are these handguns good for the money, and are they worth it, and how is it held up? The Beretta APX Carry, like I said, loses almost every battle. Just like the Glock 36, they have something in common. In terms of capacity, they lose every battle. They are both 6+1, with the Glock 36 obviously being in 45 ACP. But what's really interesting is, even in 45 ACP, they are the same exact height. Now, what makes the Glock 36 a little more special is it is thinner than a Glock 19. So it's actually a relatively thin Glock. It's just a little bit thicker than like a 43 and so on, right? But it is a single stack. This is also a single stack, like I said, 6+1. But every time I've gone to the range, I've made it a priority to bring this thing and to shoot it. On top of that, I've dry fired it about 2,000 times on top of the 1,100 rounds we have put through this handgun. And we have not had a single issue whatsoever. Now, the APX Carry. Do I recommend this? I do not. I would never recommend and just say, oh, this is a great handgun, go out and purchase this. But if someone asks me, I have $200, is there a handgun you recommend for under $200? When I think $200, I'm thinking high points, skies, not even a Taurus you can find under $200. So this is the best handgun under $200, hands down, and it's not even close. Being a Beretta, it actually runs really well. Did we have any issues? We did not. And I've ran hollow points through this thing. Obviously not the majority, but we've ran a couple boxes of hollow points, some older Winchester silver tips, stuff like that I had to recycle. That's basically what I used to test. I probably should have tested some other rounds through it, but it was basically just stuff that I needed to get rid of that were older and so on. But as you can see, very nice finish holdup. The finish has been great on the slide as well as the barrel. The barrel's just now starting to form a little bit of wear, which is completely normal. Then the slide has held up really nice. You can see on the edges and stuff like that, you're getting a little wear, but nothing at all that really matters. Obviously, we are clear. Then you look on the controls. The takedown lever is starting to wear a little bit, but that same thing happens on Glocks. Same with the slide stop. That's starting to wear a little bit, but who cares? It doesn't do anything. The slides for the optics plate are also wearing down, and this side of the takedown lever. But overall, I'm pretty impressed. For $170, what you're getting is something that's reliable. Like I said, I don't recommend this as your main carry whatsoever. But for under $200, if that's what you have, or you want a backup gun, or a truck gun, or a work gun, that's what I've been using this for as of recent, is once I tested it, make sure it's reliable. I've been throwing it in my pocket at work. Before it was a Glock 43. This is quite a bit larger than a Glock 43, but it still worked. I wanted to see how far we can take this thing. And when you actually clean it, give it a good scrubbing, this thing runs really, really well. And you're going to ask, why did I dry fire it so much? Well, because the trigger was absolute garbage at first. And that's what you saw a lot of these gun tubers and people online talk about, was the trigger being so bad and gritty. Well, this is a defensive trigger. This isn't supposed to be a competition shooting gun. This is a pocket pistol. So when you feel that trigger, now it's a nice defined wall. Yes, it's a little running, but it is what it is. Reset. Long, but it's crisp. It's clean. It's more of a little bit of a rolling break, but crisp and clean. Before, you'd have a lot of grit going into that, and now it's pretty nice. A little bit of over travel, but the trigger has gotten much, much better. Now, here's what I think they should do with the $170 Beretta APX Carry. What they should do is take this handgun, since it's a chassis system, make a new frame that is a double stack frame. stack and a half. Make it so it's 10 plus 1, 9 plus 1 at this flush size, right? If you gave me new mags and a frame that you have to buy, let's say the frame's $100, 2 mags, give it a $200 package where you get a frame and 2 mags, 9 or 10 plus 1 at this size, now we're talking. Beretta would have their first concealed carry oriented pistol, and it would actually be a super solid setup. Sell it for $350, $400. I'm telling you, we have a winner. Get rid of this crappy optics plate up here, and you would have an awesome handgun that can compete not only in capacity, but also in overall function for the price. If you can compete out here with these Stogers, these Rugers and stuff like that, and still give us a reliable product, you are going to win. It doesn't matter what it is, you will win. Like I said, allow people who already have this thing to just remove the chassis and drop in a new frame and still use your upper. Beretta, you will win. Trust me, I think that's a great idea. But through 1,100 rounds or so, we haven't had a single hiccup, not a single malfunction. My mom has actually shot this handgun twice now and has actually enjoyed it. Is it her favorite handgun? No, it's not. She likes her Smith & Wesson 380 EZ. She likes the Ruger LCP, stuff like that. She prefers a 380 handgun. But for a 9mm handgun, comparing it to the Shield and Glock 26, which she can't stand, simply because it doesn't fit her hand, so it sort of jumps out of her hands when she's shooting, she likes the APX Carry. She thought it was a pretty dang good gun, and I definitely recommend this. For women, that's also a great carry option, especially for the price, like I said. I'm going to continue to test this thing and make sure it runs the way it should. But to get a gun that's sub $200 in this market nowadays is pretty incredible to run 1,100 rounds, no problem. My PSA daggers couldn't make it to 1,000. 2 of my 4 P365 variants couldn't make it past 750 or whatever the round count was. I've had issues, with the Mossberg MC2 SC under 1,000 rounds. I've had issues. So seeing a gun that is half the price run double the amount of rounds before an issue, which this has not had an issue yet, is pretty dang impressive. But I think if Beretta dropped that frame, dropped those magazines, we would have a clear winner. Beretta has yet to drop a double stack Micro 9 or any handgun that is concealed carry oriented. Yes, they have the Cheetah and they have stuff like that, but those guns are bigger, they're wider, they're heavier, right? They're going to be something more like this in size. There's nothing wrong with this for everyday carry, but what do we want? We want something a little bit smaller to compete. Beretta dropped 2 or 3 different frames for this chassis. Drop, a 10-round mag and a 12-round mag. Trust me, it will be a hit, and I will be the first one on this channel or on YouTube, if it is running reliably, to say, this is a great setup. I will probably, even after this video, send an email to Beretta. I think if I can convince them somehow, obviously I have no power over there, but if I could convince Beretta to make that would be just huge. I'm telling you, for all the people who love their APX, a lot of people I know that own this gun like their APX Carry. They really do. They're just disappointed in capacity. They get by the trigger problem because the trigger problem really does break in at a certain round count. So, and if you guys are looking at this holster and wondering what it is, this is a Blacksmith Tactical IWB holster with a monoblock clip. The best for clipping on anything, gym shorts, sweatpants, belts, jeans, whatever, it clips to it. A claw and a wedge. A wedge I use typically under a 3.7-inch barrel to prevent that handgun from keeling over. When you have a shorter barrel handgun like a Glock 26 or an APX Carry, it tends to go like this. This offsets that short barrel, pushing it back, keeping it really nice and tight to your body, keeping it really concealed. So awesome holsters, code SPN for 10% off at all Blacksmith Tactical products, on all Blacksmith Tactical products. Now, like I said, right here are 2 handguns that aren't popular, but both of them are under 225 or below. So we're sitting here with a Glock under 225. It's ridiculous. They've been great. I have no problems. Are they my main carries? No, they're not. Have I carried this? Yes, we ran this thing. It's been reliable. We're going to do another 1,000-round count. But the problem is with these magazines, it is hard. With 6-rounder, I only have 1 6 and 1 8-rounder. So the fact that we made it to 1,000 or a little over 1,000, absolutely awesome. This right here, I only have 2 mags so far, so it's been hard as well. These are 6-round mags. So obviously in 45, I'm going to have to load up on some mags, maybe get 5, and then continue with this. But for 225, it's a heck of a gun. It could be a woods gun, an Aaron gun, a backpack gun, just a backup. Let's say my Glock 26 goes down. I'm starting to have reliability issues because of a part breakage. While I'm waiting for my new extractor, ejector, whatever the case may be, boom, grab my 36. I still feel good with this thing because at the end of the day, this thing is an absolute shooter. It is accurate, it's reliable, but what I like about it is it's somewhere in between a 26 and a 19, a 26, and a 43X. because it's so thin and it's a little bit longer that it actually feels really snug in the hand. So I get why people really like this. Just needs a little bit more texturing, which I did order some grips for. We're going to get this thing to that 1,000 round count. But like I said, got this brand new, didn't have any barrel wear on this. So far, we're at a couple hundred rounds with this thing, probably sitting around 250. One box of Spear gold dots, and yeah, not a single problem. So can you really argue with a handgun that is that freaking cheap when your daggers are at full price, can't run really well, have part breakages all the time, your Mossbergs, your SIGs, whatever the case may be. So you got to respect it regardless of the negative sides to these handguns. You can make stuff like this work for you. Just train a lot. And like I said, if Beretta dropped that grip module, it would be game over. The APX Carry A1 would be an absolute massive hit. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.